Today, I'm showing you how to make the flakiest and creamiest chicken pie. You may think you already know how to make chicken pie. Trust me, this recipe is going to blow your mind. First, we start with the dough. In a bowl, combine all-purpose flour and salt. Mix well together. So the next thing you want to add is margarine or butter, cold margarine or butter. So for this recipe, I made use of margarine. The key here is that your butter or margarine must be very cold. That's what to give the pie its beautiful flakiness. I like to grate my butter directly into the flour. This makes it easier to work with. So as I'm grating, I'm just going to use the fork to just mix everything together in order for it to mix up well. And I keep grating until I'm done with the butter. So once I'm done with the butter, the next thing I'm going to do is just to rub the butter into the flour until it forms a crumble like texture. If you're new to my channel, it's good to have you here. My name is Teresa Metuka. You're highly welcome. Do not forget to click on the subscribe button, turn on your post notification to get notified when I drop new video. You can as well give this video a like and comment below. I would really love to hear from you. So once the butter has been well incorporated into the flour mix, so the next thing you want to do is just to make a well or a hole in the middle of your flour mix and then add in cold water. Please ensure that the water that you're using is very cold. This is one of the things that will also result in your meat pie being flaky. So the next thing you want to do is just to combine everything together. We are not needing this, so please do not need, just incorporate it together, because if you need, you are going to create gluten and we don't want any gluten to form here. So once you create gluten, your dough is going to get hard and then it will not be flaky. So just incorporate it together. So you might be tempted to add more water, but please do not add water. Just in no time, this will all form together. Like I said, we are not needing this, and do not add more water, because if you do, you are going to end up with a tough dough and not a flaky dough. So just try, just keep doing it. In no time, you will see that this is going to come together.
Is there? Hands moving swiftly like a chef's ballet, dusting powder like stars lighting up the way. Every chop, every sizzle harmonizes the mood. The Risa's kitchen is the heart of good food.
So as you can see, super easy. So the next thing you want to do is just to divide this into two.
Step into the kitchen, take a seat in my show. Teresa's got the flavor that'll steal the whole glow. Mix it, chop it, stir it with.
So the next thing we want to do is to wrap our dough and place it in the fridge for an hour. So the reason why I highly recommend that you should place your dough in the fridge is because it will help to relax the gluten in the flour so that your crust won't shrink or turn tough when it bakes. And finally, chilling the dough makes it easier to roll. It won't be sticky or difficult to handle. Just press it down and place in the fridge. So as our dough is resting in the fridge, the next thing we want to do is to make our delicious, very, very creamy, tasty filling. So into my blender, I'm going to combine some fresh parsley, oregano, and spring onion. Some fresh parsley, oregano, spring onion, and garlic. Add a little oil and blend everything together. So once that is done, set aside. So the next thing I want to do is just to combine my spices. I have here some curry, some thyme, some coriander, paprika, basil, cinnamon, and salt. So just mix up everything together. So it's not necessary to use the spices that I use, but I highly recommend that you do. But if you have your own favorite spices, you can use them as well. So I have in my bowl some chicken breast. So I just poured in some little oil and then I added our blended herbs and then go in with our spices that we just mixed together. So combined everything together until everywhere is well coated with all that deliciousness.
Every sizzle harmonizes the mood. The Risa's kitchen is the heart of good food. Teresa whips it up with rhythm and flair, a sprinkle of love and a dash of care. Feel the Afro beats echo in the air.
So once that is done, so add little oil in your pan, just heat it up and then add in the chicken. So what you want to do, you just want to brown your chicken on both sides for about 5 or 4 minutes.
Teresa is there. Hands moving swiftly like a chef's ballet, dusting powder like stars lighting up the way. Every chop, every sizzle harmonizes the mood. Teresa's kitchen is the heart of good.
So after browning your chicken on both sides, the next thing you want to do is just to scoop out. So like I told you earlier, this is not like the chicken pie that you know. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to blend some coconut. So I'm going to make coconut milk. So you can use cooking cream as well to do this, but I'm just going with coconut milk because I love the taste of coconuts in my food. So just after blending, I'm just going to just extract the milk of the coconut and then set it aside until when I'm ready to use it. So into that same oil, I just combined some garlic, ginger and onion. So just saute that for some minutes, and then the next thing you want to do is just to add in some Scotch bonnet pepper and then add in the spices that we made earlier. Some of it was still remaining, so add that in there and then just mix together, and then just put back your chicken to the mix. And then the next thing you want to do is just to add in your coconut milk. So like I said, you can use cooking cream as well to do this, so I'm going with coconut milk. And what you want to do right now is just to reduce the heat a bit to medium, and you want to cook this on medium heat. So I've cooked this about like 30 minutes or so. So the next thing I want to do is just to shred my chicken. So I was trying to shred it in the sauce, but it wasn't working. So I just went ahead and just scoop it out and shred it out and then poured it back into my sauce. So when I tell you this is not your regular chicken pie, this is super duper delicious. It's very creamy, very tasty. So you really need to try out this feeling. You are going to love this, I promise you. So after shredding the chicken, I just poured it back into the sauce. Then the chicken has absorbed all of the liquid from our sauce. So the next thing I just did was to add in water. So this is the consistency at which I want this to be. So the next thing I added was some chopped carrots. You can decide to add in potato, but I'm not going with potato here. So I'm just going to just add carrots and other things, but I'm not going with potato. But if you want to add potato or any other vegetable, you can add that as well. So I'm just going to cook this for 3 to 5 minutes.
Teresa is there.
So after cooking for 3 to 5 minutes, then add in some bell peppers. I just made use of the green and yellow. I just want to cook this for 2 more minutes. As this is cooking for 2 minutes, the next thing I'm making is our cornstarch slurry. So I just combine some cornstarch and water. So just mix up everything together until the cornstarch has dissolved well. So just pour that into your sauce and mix up everything together and just cook this for 1 to 2 minutes.
Fry tomato de bubble, pepper de high. She de chop and mix with style. One taste go make you smile. Garlic, ginger, everything nice. Her food fit make you chop rice.
So there you have it. Our delicious, creamy, very tasty sauce is ready. You know already that this is going to be very yummy and super delicious. So the next thing you want to do is just to scoop this out, and you just want this to cool a bit before we now assemble everything and make our chicken pie proper.
Fried fish they crisp, chicken they hot. If or be
So the next thing is to bring your dough out from the fridge and just allow it to get to room temperature. This should take about 5 to 10 minutes for it to get to room temperature, and then divide each of the dough into 5 pieces.
she they cook with soul, make we lose control. Now food lovers crew. Teresa
So the next thing you want to do is to roll your dough out to about 1/3 of an inch in thickness. As you can see, the dough is soft. That is why I recommend placing it in the refrigerator. But before rolling it, don't forget to let it come to room temperature for about 5 to 10 minutes. If you are using a freezer instead of a fridge, I suggest turning it off for a while so that the dough gets cold without actually freezing. If the dough freezes, you may not get the best results. Next, I'm using a round cutter to cut out the base. But if you don't have a cutter, don't worry, you can just use a round bowl, just like the way I'm doing here. I just want to keep this recipe very simple and easy for you to replicate it without needing any fancy tool. Once you've cut out your base, go ahead and roll out the dough for the top of the pie as well.
oh you they hot, onions they fry, tomato they bubble, pepper they high. She they chop and mix with style. One taste go make you smile. Garlic, ginger, everything nice. Her food fit make you chop rice twice. No shortcut, she they take her time. Teresa's flavor they always climb. Teresa they cook, come chop oh. Now love she they put inside the pot oh. From stew to sauce to coconut cake.
So once you've cut out the base and the top of your pie, so the next thing you want to do is just to add in your filling. So after you've added the filling, the next thing you want to do is just to go around the edge of your dough with some egg wash. So just cover up at the top of the dough, and then you just want to seat this properly in order for the filling not to come out. So after sealing up the pie with your tips of your finger, the next thing you want to do is just to make some indentation on the pie. So like I said, I just made this very easy without the fancy tool so that you can replicate it at home. So I use a skewer or this barbecue stick to just make the indentation. As you were seeing here. So do not use any fork, just go with a skewer or toothpick and any other thing that can make this beautiful indentation as you were seeing in this video.
Again. When Teresa entered kitchen.
So repeat the same process with the other dough until you are done with it. So this recipe can make about 8 dough. So the remaining cut out you can just combine together, but do not need just mold it together and then still use it to make your beautiful pie as well. So you can make about 8 or 9 of this beautiful pie.
Food fit make you chop rice twice. No shortcut, she they take her time. Teresa's flavor they always climb. Teresa they cook, come chop oh. Now love she they put inside the pot oh.
So before finishing your pie, you should be preheating your oven. So once you've done with your pie, just place it in your prepared baking pan. And then the next thing you want to do is just to poke the top of your pie. So this is to help allow steam to escape while baking. Without it, the steam from the filling could cause the pie to burst open or turn soggy. So once that is done, then just brush with some egg wash and place in a preheated oven. So we're baking this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 25 to 30 minutes. So there you have it. Our delicious chicken pie is ready. This is super yummy, creamy, and flaky. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Comments below. I would love to hear from you. I will see you on the other flip side. Bye for now.